Hello, everyone. It's Kate Stillman. I'm here with Natalie Jackson, and we're going to talk about afraid of success. Let's find out. So, what's the situation, Natalie?
So I have had this consistent self-sabotage, overthinking around not knowing what it was for a while, but around my own success. It wasn't fear of failing. I'm fine doing that. I'm actually quite comfortable, not comfortable, but it's not this foreign thing to me. It's like, oh, like dust myself off, get back up. But this new version of Natalie has emerged, and we hang out a lot and then I retreat again. So it's like I'm stepping forward, stepping back, stepping forward, stepping back. And it's around being able to share my course. And as soon as I'm speaking and sharing what's inside and really connecting, amazing thing happens. You know, people join my course and all this cool stuff happens. And then it's like that's too awesome. I need to go backwards, not go backwards, but it's like I'm quiet again. And I'm like, did that happen? Can I do that again? And so I'm not sure. I have this phrase of fear of my own success, but I'm still really excited because I know fear and excitement are so closely intertwined.
Yeah.
So I'm often flipping it to that, but it's like I'm still catching myself in these moments of keep going, keep speaking, keep sharing, keep hearing about other people's stories. And yeah, it really freaks me out to be able to pay my bills and to I really don't have, I have one more small credit card and it's nothing. So it's not really the debt, but it's I don't know if it is that phrase of I'm scared of my own success. So yeah. I'm kind of interested to pick that apart if it really is that, or if it's.
Well, let's go to future desired state. So, let's go there. So what I'm hearing is there's a future desired state around another level of success you've not experienced before. True?
Yes.
Okay. So let's just define the parameters of that. So we know how that's different than right now. So right now you're at this level of success and you notice that there's some pulsation with oh, wow, I know what got me here. And I know my tendency and I know how I contract or I know what to do so that I don't experience more of this. And I know what to do so I experience more of this. So good. Now let's go to what is that at another level than you're currently at. So that would be do you ever play the game Mother May I?
No, I know I've heard of it, but I don't think
I've heard of it. Oh, my dad's the master of Mother May I. Once he had grandkids, not with us. He never played with us, but when he had grandkids, he played. And so he's the guy who's in charge. He sits in the lawn chair and the kids line up and they're like, Mother, may I take 3 steps forward? Yes, you may.
Okay. Yeah.
And he can say yes or no. He can say whatever he wants. May I take 3 giant steps forward? You didn't say Mother, may I? Mm-hmm. So now you got to take whatever. So that's how it works. So in any case, what's the giant step forward? Because kids learn how to take very big steps forward in that game and they kind of jump.
Right.
So what's the jump?
So I guess that's what I have in my head is, am I just continuing to take small increments forward?
Well, forget it. If you were to jump forward, what does that look like? What are the parameters of that? So what has changed? Is it money? Is it followers? Is it a body of work? Is what is the next big, what is success for you? Yeah. A giant step, almost a leap forward.
It's consistently engaging with people around the offering of this course. It's moving, being able to look at my bank account and see more than a couple $1,000s. I have been more comfortable. I can see how it's possible for me to make $80,000 to $100,000. Before this didn't make sense.
So is that it? So is that it? $80,000 to $1,000? You're that would be an external measurement of I have taken a great leap forward.
Yeah, that and
Great.
I mean, what's in YHC? It's like 30 to 40 people a year, just like totally resonates with me. I'm not
Okay,
looking
so
to
now we
just,
have a parameter for a group, right? 30 to 40
yeah.
people that are invested where you're leading 30 to
Mm-hmm.
40 people. Okay, great. These are good. You guys, and that's what we want to do, is to get out of the what's going on or the stories our mind is saying, or going into like a psychological analysis of it, is like just to get really clear on what, if we think we're afraid of success, like what exactly is success?
Mm-hmm.
Because if we can focus on the goal, then a lot of the other stuff, either there's going to be psychology that helps with that outcome, and there's going to be psychology that detracts from that outcome. And then we can get pretty clear on what that is. And then we can entertain specific thoughts and actions, and we can stop entertaining certain thoughts and actions.
Yeah. And that has been really helpful. I've actually really stopped trying to analyze everything. It's like, just keep doing the thing, because also success for me in my lifestyle looks like, working 25 to 30 hours max, and being able to visit family members for a couple weeks out of the year. So I'm being able to travel, and then just outdoor adventures and tripping, and like that stuff is so important to me. So making space for that to happen within the context of how I'm working.
Lifestyle. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Great. So like what's winning for my career and what's winning for me, and that's defined. So you've defined, now we've got some great parameters for both of those categories. What have you, so when did you start yoga health coaching?
I started last year, November.
Okay.
So I'm just have been a couple months into mastery.
Into mastery. Great. So what were the biggest gains, either in terms of financial, business model, personal health, like whatever it is, colleague relationships, like what, because I'm just trying to get what we have to leverage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a step up in my own personal health, which was fun to see, because I was like, I'm already pretty happy and healthy, but it still just kind of kicked me to the next notch. And I was like, oh, I resonate with you sometimes when you say I have more energy than I know what to do with. And then I, just the different connections and having impact in other people's lives.
From leading your group.
Yeah. And just continuing. I mean, I did a whole bunch of the coaching calls yesterday, and just blown away with what the conversation is and how it's able to move. So seeing other people's results, and then seeing it within how it's reflected in myself.
Great.
And just my own, my big word this year has been integrity. So my calendar and using Asana, like that's still a big piece that's been moving in for me, but I have made huge leaps and bounds around my boundaries of when I'm working, when I'm not, how, consistently following up with conversations, showing up. And I definitely have tripped up here and there, but I'm owning it and just being like working on it, moving forward, and not just beating myself up, but being like, what's the action I'm going to do next to do that? So,
all right.
There's a lot that's been awesome.
That's a good year. That was a good year.
I feel like I'm growing out of my skin. It's like, and I've read, the big leap and all that, and it's still like just moved me forward. And
good.
My relationship with money, reading Tosha Silver's book, and then just like stopping with those books and just continuing to live, continuing to do, because so much of how I've been trained to live and work was through outdoor leadership and wilderness guiding. So it's like, it's just experiential. Like if you just do the thing and then like, let's reflect back after. So that's why I'm fine with kind of the failing part of, well, we're supposed to kind of trip up, and then let's go back and reflect as a group and with myself and regather and then move forward again.
Right. So what I heard in that was you had a tremendous year of growth in your first year of yoga health coaching that fundamentally shifted your career in terms of your opportunities, your business model, right? Your personal health, and how you use time in project management.
Mm-hmm.
And within that, there's a level of confidence and clarity as far as how to scale that to the next level. Mm-hmm. So that's all clear. Mm-hmm. And that there's a real willingness to learn. Like there's not a fear of doing it right, doing it wrong. There's a real cooperative learning environment within yourself. Mm-hmm. Great. So there's a level to me of there's a inevitability. It's why yoga health coaching is 2 years. Often in the enrollment process, people are like, that sounds really long. Like, I don't want to commit for that long. I'm like, we know that if you're around here enough, there's an inevitability to your success. If you're paying attention, and you're clearly paying attention around here, like you're clearly doing what we're asking you to do step by step. So when you feel this with me. So we're going to go into a somatic experience as opposed to, we've been in a fairly intellectual experience. Now, just exhale and feel your body. You can bend your knees if you're standing, or if you're sitting, you can just feel the chair and your posture, and now feel this inevitability of your next level success, because you've built a momentum on a very strong foundation. And receive the people that are trying to find you, just actually on a physical level. Like, allow your body to be open enough to simply energetically receive that there's people that are looking for a solution to a problem. And you're a perfect fit. Like, you can help these people, like the ones you're currently helping. And you're just letting in, there's a few spaces available, 20, 30. You already have your group going. So some of these people are going to continue, and you'll max out at your 40. And just allow yourself to, on an energetic level and on a physical level, feel the people that are trying to come and want to be part of this magical group. And now stand in that, like just be in that. And there's you and your 40 people, and what you're doing together, and where you're moving together towards these better results for everybody. And then these unexpected results that occur within the group itself, because you're available to it. And keep allowing, and this is the hard part, that energy of receiving and expanding. Mm-hmm. Receiving and expanding. Now, when you notice yourself get tripped up into contraction, like that's too much for me to want, it can feel like that, or it can feel like an analytical part of the mind kicks into, but that can't happen because of mm-hmm. this. And it's often psychological. It's often patterned thinking. It's often not, it's like you could go to the root of it and be like, oh, that's mom. Hey mom, how's it going? Love you. Awesome. That was a good strategy. Yeah, we're going to use a new strategy now. We're just going to let the people find me and come in mm-hmm. Into the group. How's that?
I mean, I could feel that. I was opening my hands, and just it does come back to that word receive, because I can feel it wanting to come in, and I have the door cracked, and I'm like, like, I see you, like, and then I'll like let somebody in, then I like close the door again. So I know it has to do, and I'm not like, I haven't once like pointed my finger at anybody else. It's just like, like, keep letting this in, keep receiving, and loving the phrase of being detached from the outcome and not feeling like I have to know somebody's journey from start to finish, just keeping the door open and letting them in and receiving whatever it is I need to keep doing. Because I can feel my shift around like who first came into my group and feeling like, is that really my target audience, and playing around with that, and still just feeling open to like, that will come as long as I just keep being out. But yeah, I catch myself talking through receiving when it's just an energy.
It's energetic. Yeah. It's not, you don't use words for it.
Instinct. It's not it's not anything I need to like keep. Yeah. I'm accessing kind of a part of me that's, I don't want to say a different part, but it's like I'm on the wrong level.
Yeah. It's a different plane. So you can push through and work on like with the rational analytical mind, and then you can work on a higher level. And what I find is that like, there's an efficiency to that of just like, oh, there might be a way easier way.
Yeah. Cause I stopped pushing. I was pushing months ago, and I have felt that stop because I'm seeing how other people are doing it in their health. And I don't do that with like my habits and all that, but I started to do it with work and jobs and career. And I was like, but you don't do this anywhere else. Why are you doing it here? So I stopped, and then I'm like, okay, well now what?
Hey, it's Kate. And my question is, do you need to change your life? Like seriously, do you need a shift? So I have a 10-day crash course for you to get aligned for action. And there's 3 basic parts to it. One is you ignite your ambition and clarify your vision. The second is you align your time and your space to fulfill that vision and activate your ambition. And the third part is we usually need to do this with other people. There's usually other people that are part of our vision. And we need a plan. And that's the third part. So it's 10 days, it's fast. Because you're a podcast listener, I get to give you a discount. You can find the special discount link in the show notes, or it's yogahealer.com/change-your-life-exclusive. It's a $500 course. Because you're a podcast listener, you can get it for $47. It's well worth it. I promise it's more than worth the $47. Like if you really do it, it will help you step into your next ambitions with clarity, with a better plan, and with your head screwed on right and pointed forward to go into action. Again, yogahealer.com/change-your-life-exclusive. It's worth the $47. So there's something I want to highlight from what you said before, is not attached to the outcome. And I would actually point in the opposite to that. I've become very attached to the outcome. So if you're saying the outcome is 40 people and $100,000, become very attached to that vision and that goal, because that will point consciousness. That points your energy and your action. Mm-hmm. So you get so concerned. Like, can you imagine if I wasn't that concerned how many people learned how to do this business model and take their wellness careers to the next level? Like if I didn't care that a certain number of people did that, it would not organize around that. But I care that like I had to figure it out. And I had to piece together business coaches and marketing coaches and this and that. And I pulled it together. So it's much easier for you guys to just be like, oh, all I have to do is like follow the steps, watch the videos, connect in the community, receive the coaching, raise my hand when I have a question or when things aren't working, and like, great. Right. So that's how much you have to care that people have a better journey in their life, that 40 people have a better journey in their life this year. And you've got to get very attached to that outcome. If that's the Dharma, if that's the responsibility that you're feeling that you can deliver on. And the way that I've been taught through this, through a number of references and books, is like with almost a maniacal obsession. Like that's how much you have to care. Like if you receive the vision, and this is what the vision is 40 people, 100K, is you have to be single pointed in your focus. And the yogis use that word tejas, which means discriminatory. It means that you discriminate against everything but that. And your definition of winning is that, and doing it in a certain way, doing it in a way that your lifestyle is a demonstration of. And as you're doing that, and it's the going on trips, and it's the
25 hours a week, and it's being organized in your project management tool and having amazing colleagues and leading the journey into an entirely better way of living.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a one-pointed focus, that 40 people, 100K, and then you take aligned action on that every day.
Mm-hmm.
In whatever that needs to happen, and you're receiving like, oh, this needs to happen today because it's on my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And how can I, and this is the other part, this is Thomas Troward. How do you get into the spirit of it? So the spirit of the thing, whether it's writing emails, whether it's doing a Facebook Live like we're doing right now, whether it's coaching a member like we're doing right now, whether it's leading a group, whether it's solving a customer service issue, whether it's doing a handstand, to get more blood in your brain, like getting into this spirit of whatever's moving the vision into reality.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting that you just said handstand, because I've been working on holding a handstand for 30 seconds. And my way of tackling a challenge in my life when I can't seem to have a lot of direction towards it is I'll do something with my body to boost my confidence.
Yeah,
so
great.
I'm at 20 seconds, and I always notice right after, like, that's when I either post on Instagram, like after I do something physical, I'm like, all right, go talk to people, share now, because I'm like feeling amazing. And I notice how that when you're doing this with your hands, because I can think of when I'm thinking about all this, it's more of like a fan. And yes, I have like the 100K and the people and the impact, and I have it like scattered. I'm like almost thinking of like constellations or something in the sky, versus it pointing to one thing. And I think that's where I lose track of putting all my energy into one track, because I know I have no problem with that, but it's like just channeling it and giving it some bumpers a little bit to refocus on what that is. And so that's helpful for me, because I have been thinking about it in this plane versus something constrictive, or not constrictive, but
yes, no, it is constrictive. It has to be constrictive to a point.
Yeah. And because I knew, I was like, well, okay, this handstand goal.
But that's what is the expansion. That's the paradox, is you have to constrict the vision into specificity and get really clear. What are the parameters? What are the parameters in my career? Like, what's the outcome? What's the end result? What are the parameters in my life? Right? That's winning. Now that I have very specific parameters and if you don't give yourself leeway, the better. Because now you know exactly what you're aiming for. So anything that's not that, anything that's not pulling that into the present, right? Receiving that into the present, anything that's not that, which means taking aligned action towards it, is something else. And something else is not efficient. And that there's a lot of, I find like there's feminine words and masculine words, and efficient is a very masculine word. And there's an interesting linearity to it, but lines move in spirals, like really at the core of it, it's all vibrational, and that's a spiral action. And so it's the spiral of all the possibilities into the center. So it's concentric, meaning with the center. So if you experience the vision as like, there's a center to it, it's a point, and it's a point, it seems like it's in the future. And I don't want to talk about time right now, but right.
Actually, it doesn't. The whole time thing, actually, that doesn't, I feel like I am that person now.
Yeah.
That part doesn't, I feel like my relationship with time is really, it's been super awesome to play around with. I'm like, man, stuff doesn't feel as far away as it used to feel. It feels like it's like,
that's right.
Here.
That's right. And the more you're aware of that point that you're going to, and you act in accordance with that, then time moves in a very different way. It becomes less linear. So good. Are you get it? So you're big, just to recap, what I see is that your breakthrough, right, is about saying, this is winning. This is winning in my career. This is what winning looks like for my clients or my group. And this is what winning looks like for my life. And this is exactly what that is. And may I take aligned action towards that? And may I simply also receive that is happening. And that's it. No, nothing else. So what I'm pushing away now is like all the other, like needing to make meaning or psychology or multiple possibilities, like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me think of like being like stepping on a river, or canoeing on a river. And it's like, yeah, all of the stuff is going by, but it's like, I just have to stay in the river.
Yeah. And when you choose a line in a river, talking about rivers, when you choose the line, like there's a reason you choose the line down especially in whitewater. Like you choose your line and then you do not pay attention to that which is not on the line because you've already chosen the line.
Yeah. And it just takes you.
Yeah. And then there's an efficiency, right? Where you're like, oh, I mean, the more you tune into the line, the fewer actions you take to follow the line. Right. And it's just like this oneness starts to happen between you and the line in the river.
Yeah. I mean, so much of that side of me, it has helped. But yeah, sometimes I can feel them doing this and I'm like, I know that they can connect and click because I just started doing like, this random handstand thing. I'm like, this doesn't feel random. I know that I'm trying to focus on one thing. And so it's making more sense to
That's
speak
right.
out
Pulling all
the
parts together. That's how you would stand on your hands. Yeah. Good.
Yeah. It feels
You're
really
rocking
good.
it.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to have this conversation a year from now. I'm like, how'd it go? Well, I made $100,000. I helped 40 people.
I mean, even now I look at my account, even though it's not 100K, I'm just like, it's not where it always was. And it's still, I'll check it and I'm like, is that a mistake that somebody else's? And again, not that it's whatever, it's all relative, but it does, I have to pinch myself because it's like, okay, make it happen again. But also I think that word receive is really sticking with me and just focusing on the one piece and what are those, what is that piece in increments and just
what needs to be done today. I mean, it can really be that simple. Just waking up, like, this is the vision, right? This is what I'm trying to achieve. These are the parameters, the exact parameters, and receiving that as a vision, right? And receiving the energy of it. And then what do I need to do today? That's it. Like, not more complicated. So in closing, any advice to people who maybe where you were before you started YHC, in terms of people that are having a hard time they're wondering if they can do it or if it really works.
Yeah. Well, the phrase of, if you think you can, or you think you can't, you're right. So that one, it's like, well, I'm obnoxiously positive. So if you feel like you have any thread of positivity that is swirling around in your body, keep moving towards that because it will keep moving you towards the next thing and the next thing. And I don't know, I just have a lot of trust. Not just trust in my own ability, but trust in, like, I found out about YHC once I found out about it, knew it was available and signed up, it was like 3 days.
Wow. So you already had developed a lot of intuitional capacity and decision making.
I was basically looking for you in this community, and I could feel it. I knew it was out there. I had done another health coaching program. It didn't really blink, and I knew that I had coached on my own. I was doing one-on-one, and I'm like, I take people outdoors in groups. Why am I coaching one-on-one? This doesn't feel like me. So I was I was going through the grass. I was picking around, and I was friends with Amy Heumann, and I was like, all right, what are you doing? And within like 24 hours, I was like, yep, this is what I'm looking for. So I have what you were saying about there's people that are finding you. I get that. I totally get that. But it's interesting to be on the other side of that a little bit.
Well, and it's the same thing, right? Right.
It is.
That's, I'm so glad I asked that question, and I'm so glad you answered it in that way, because that really seals the deal then of like, oh, there's people trying to find me and they know people that know me. Okay.
Yeah.
That's in that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome. I just got to say, like, great job. You're doing it. Yeah.
I know I am. But receiving everything on an energetic level, it's taken the pressure off my mind to rationally keep moving through when I feel stuck, because it's not always going to be the place to do that. It's at the most appropriate place. So the energy piece is quite helpful.
Yeah. It's the spirit of it, right? Like how we do it is as important as what we're doing. Like it's, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, thank you for saying that. And I just open up my stance again. I find myself doing what I'm doing every day is I'm either crossing my legs and crossing my arms, or opening up and opening my body.
Yes.
So just keep receiving.
Yes. Yeah. And rooting, like, you know, when I've developed a habit of not moving my legs, like just standing and being like, oh, this is what not shifting feels like. It's very steady, right? Sthira in Sthira in Sanskrit. Sthira is that like steadiness, and it's steadiness that moves energy more efficiently, right? Not that there's not a time for like shaking it up, everybody, but you know, there's also a time for standing and focusing and moving energy directionally.
Yep, I agree.
Awesome. Keep reporting back.
Great. Thank you so much, Kate. I appreciate your time.
Oh, my pleasure. Namaste.
All right. Thank you.